Hi, my name is Amanda May, and I am the Chief Designer and founder of Ardith Design, and I'm extremely happy to be here today. I wanted to share with you a little bit of what I do. I really believe in saving the stitches, so I'd love to show you some of the pieces that I've collected. Well, just a fraction of it. I also want to show you some of the work that I've done and that is available in my store. I'd like to show you some of my products and then a little segment called Sustainability Station where I kind of show a little project that I'm working on. You know, they say small steps. I also want to show you what I've stitched that isn't necessarily my designs but other designers that I admire and that I found recently. And I also want to show pieces, well, that I love. Oh, and library books. I really firmly believe in checking out library books. I don't even want to tell you how many I have checked out right now from my local public library, and I just wanted to share 3 of them. I'd like to start with the Know Your Needleworker. My name, of course, is Amanda May. There seems to be a lot of Amandas that cross stitch, which is fantastic. So you can call me Amanda May, M-A-E. I live in Maryland, which is on the east coast of the United States, and it's considered in the mid-Atlantic region of the United States. I'm located in central Maryland, which is the kind of the agricultural belt. I am roughly, as the crow flies, an hour from Baltimore, an hour from Washington, D.C., an hour from Gettysburg, and an hour from Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. So I kind of sit at the nexus of all of these really amazing places that are steeped in history, American history, Indigenous history, and I just feel really honored to be here. I have a rescue pug named Raji. He's going to be 14 soon. I rescued him when he was 6 years old. And I named my eBay store after him, One Lucky Pug. I'm at oneluckypug.com, and that's what got me into needlework in the first place, which is something that I am eternally grateful for. When I first started eBaying, I didn't know anybody. A very isolating experience. I was an artist, had finished college, and I didn't know other people that did eBay. And I went online, as most of us do these days. It's 2018, and I started my journey in 2012, and I had joined an eBay group, and in there was this fantastic person that kept helping. And she opened my eyes to the amazing world of needle art and needlecraft. Her name is Sorley. When I had joined her group, I had no idea that I would become a cross stitcher. She taught me about needlepoint, filet crochet, knitting, the Russian bobbin lacing, about crowel embroidery, punch needle, also about latch hook and rug hooking. You name it, if it dealt with a textile, Cindy was there with her wealth of knowledge, or at least knew somebody else in the community that could help us identify and ultimately sell, restore items. So my journey with needle art, besides quilting, which is a whole nother fabric textile story to get into, but my journey with cross stitch began with Cindy. I remember she was in this forum with 10,000 people, and she said, oh, that piece is a Teresa Wentzler from 1989, and it's stitched on 14 count Aida, and she starts listing off, and make sure the French knots are there for the angel's eyes. And everyone went, what? Are you speaking a foreign language? What are you talking about? And I was just fascinated. I had the pleasure of meeting Cindy during one of our meetups here in Maryland, and I got to see her in action, and she is a workhorse. We stayed up until 1 a.m. the day I met her, and we were talking genealogy, talking about cross stitch, and she said, "Hey Amanda, let's look up your stuff. I'm on the board of one of these genealogy sites. Let's take a poke around your life." So the first time I met Cindy, we actually went through my family tree. And the name Ardith Design comes from Cindy looking in my family tree and going, "Huh, look at that. You have somebody named Ardith in your family." And I said, well, shucks, that's a pretty cool name. So when I opened up my business for needle art, cross stitch and what have you, I decided to name it Ardith Design. And I wanted to, without sounding too corny, have a thread that connects my past to my present. I find it really cool that it's an A name, I'm an A name, and that we can bridge the gap between historic needle art and contemporary modern embroidery. So that's my story. I am so excited to be here. Let me tell you, I'd love to do some honorable mentions. I am afraid I'm going to miss people. So I will link below in this video all of the amazing, amazing stitching friends. And I would like to call all of you friends that have touched me over the last year. I came to Flosstube thanks to one of Cindy's groups. She's Stitchery Express, and I was one of the first members in her cross-stitch group that she opened, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. I think she's got about 10,000 people now. She did weekly videos, and someone said, "Well, have you heard of Flosstube? You should check out Priscilla and Chelsea." And that's when the floodgates opened, let me tell you. I started watching Priscilla and Chelsea. Of course, found Just Keep Stitching with Steph and Pam, Bendy Stitchy, KittenStitcher, Teresa. Oh my gosh, Coffee Stitcher. Of course, Vana, the impeccable Vana. She gave me the courage to finish a lot of pieces that I had not finished. I love, love, love her spirit and her willingness to share. Then I also found Tiffany, XpressLifeTifA, and I must say I fangirled her hard. I didn't mean to be so silly, but I sent her one of the first patterns that I had ever completed. And when I say completed, I mean stitched, had my model stitch done, had everything done, and I sent it to her. And in return, she sent me, this beautiful project bag, and it's filled to the brim with goodies. I am so happy. I have a lot of good stuff. And I just feel really honored to be a part of this community, I must tell you. All right, I want to show you some of the work that I have completed. I have been following Jamie, and I have to send this across the pond for the Christmas ornament. I finished this, it's Bent Creek Cat-O-Lantern. Oh my gosh, I think it's so precious. I haven't finished it, but it's stitched. I started this, and I've really lost my passion for finishing this, but it's out of one of the modern embroidery books that I checked out at the library. I did return the book, did not make a working copy of the pattern, so I'm debating on what I want to do. It's kind of a TARDIS blue, so I feel like I need to stitch a little TARDIS in here because this new season of Doctor Who is coming up, but we shall see. And then KittenStitcher, Teresa. Oh, She is such a lovely, lovely person. She inspired me to learn all about colonial knots with her tutorial. So I started doing Flanders Fields poppies, which I think are just amazing. I think the lest we forget is a very important message, and it goes across borders. It's really an international message. The American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, American Legion abroad, and the Allied forces abroad. It's important. So I started this. I'm not really sure what I'd like to do. A part of me wants to do a lot of them and do a quilt featuring all the different poppies, maybe coming down like the Tower of London art installation that had the poppies. I'm not really sure yet. I would love some input if anybody has any feedback. I did make a little pillow with one of them. Very basic, but I love the colonial knots. I used pearl cotton, I used DMC, and then I used this really beautiful variegated thread from Gentle Arts. And then these are seed beads. They're, I want to say size 10, and I used a beading needle and a beading mat to do that. Okay, and then I'll show you. This is one of my pieces that I designed and stitched for the Bewitched Stitches group on Facebook. The first stitch along they did was the Edgar Allan Poe stitch along, and I was super inspired. And Edgar Allan Poe is from Baltimore, Maryland. His grave is actually in downtown Baltimore, new grave site in 1875. I took a little bit of artistic liberty in designing this, and it does carry the similar design of his current grave. I have the pit and the pendulum stitched here, mostly in back stitching, and then I have the brick wall, skull, some faces, some hidden faces, and 2 ravens. Some could argue that it's actually a murder of crows because the fan of the feathers, and ravens don't have a fan. But I kind of liked that double meaning of it could have either been a group like a murder of crows or just the single raven here. I put it on a distressed frame, and then I made these really fun burlap flowers following the inspiration of the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. Oh, okay. The next piece I did, well, this is my Balancing Bunnies pattern that I did, and I finished it, this year, and it's small. I really like what Tiffany did in her finishing. She made it into an oval, which I just found outstanding. Would I do this again? Yes. I did it on 14 count Hunter Green Ada. I was inspired. I'm doing a lot of chalkboard art. I've been having so much fun doing chalkboard art. Here is a digital painting that I did of a Scottish Highlander cow, and I just love the look of this quiet animal on a spring day, and I wanted to draw him amongst the flowers, and I just love him. My piece. So she is, again, supposed to be chalkboard art for spring solstice, kind of a feisty one is really what I was going for. This is just a little skunk piece. I find the napkins and I see them and I always think of, can I finish something like a little pillow and use this on the back? I absolutely love crochet work, and if I find something, a crocheted doily, I do pick it up. There's a set of 4 here. This is an apron, and I have not cleaned it. I absolutely love it, and it's sheer. It's got some staining, but it's really beautiful work. All right, and this is so fun. It's stained. I need to clean it, but I wanted to show you before I cleaned it. Someone has stitched this onto a belt. I just can't even. I am so impressed. These kits were available in the 1980s. You got the hardware, you got everything to make the belt, and I just find it's just so awesome. So I have to clean it. Oh, there's so much. All right, I'm going to show you this piece. I'm showing you a before. Now, I will preface by saying this again. I feel like I'm prefacing to the preface to the preface. I pick up a lot of needle art in Maryland and surrounding areas, and the owners or the shop owners or the yard sale people or the estates people will say, oh, thank goodness someone's taking that. I was about to throw it out. Or, oh, if this didn't get sold today, it was going in the dumpster. Or, my kid didn't want it. I don't know what to do with it. I always take something. I don't ever want to see it thrown away. I have done a lot of cleaning and restoration of pieces. I have sold a number of them. I've sold them to private collectors. I've sold them online through my store. And I've also gifted a lot of stuff that I've saved. That I will clean and restore cross stitch, especially if I know that it's cotton. And I will also say I only clean like 1960s to the 1990s. I have not, cross my fingers, knock on wood, I have not had anything bleed on me yet as far as like the over-dyed flosses bleeding their color. I don't touch historic stuff like from the 30s or 40s. Or earlier, I do not wash it, okay? I'm talking about stuff that's just dirty and dusty that I believe I can clean without damaging it. So with all of that said, here's one piece. This is the before piece. I have not cleaned it yet. That I picked up that was, oh, this was gonna get thrown in the dumpster. So this is a piece. And I shared it last year on my Instagram. Again, I did not stitch this. I thought it was lovely. The back, I'm gonna need to take out the staples and clean it, and I'd like to remount it. There, I have another piece here I wanted to share. I thought the sentiment was darling. It's a needlepoint piece, and it says, when St. Peter announces it's time to go, I'll say, please let me finish just one more row. Now this piece is dirty. It has not been cleaned. This is another piece that I got. I would like to reframe it. It's an angel. I'd like to think of it as one of the pieces that probably would have been purchased at a store had I not come in and purchased it, but it just needed to come home with me, so it did. It's on Ada. This one, it does not need to be washed, does not need to be cleaned. The mat is nice. I just would like to reframe it because the frame is pretty nicked up. This is a piece of Crowell embroidery. It's from a kit. I'm not sure exactly what kit it is from, but I just absolutely love, 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 love butterflies. Let me tell you, I love butterflies. I have a butterfly garden. I have butterfly bushes. Cannot wait to see the monarchs. Believe wholeheartedly in planting milkweed for the monarchs, and I love seeing the butterflies. All right, oh, and this is the gem I am so excited about. I just got this one 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure if anybody here follows me on Instagram. I am Ardith Design on Instagram, and this is an awesome Save the Stitches that I found in a dingy old bookstore with poor lighting. I found an epic pattern that I'd been looking for, one of my unicorn charts, and then right at the front register, literally behind, like below the cash register, was this piece, and I went, is that cross stitch? Because I as soon as I saw the masking tape and the aid, I was like, yep, that's cross stitch. I know it's cross stitch. And I had to get it. And it is a hot mess. This one does need to be cleaned. Again, I'm showing you the befores, okay? I know it's a hot mess. Alrighty, I want to do my sustainability station section of this video. And please, other floss tubers, people in the community, feel free to participate in the sustainability station thing. It's just little crafty ideas that I want to present now and maybe hopefully in my next video. So here we go. I'm working on this little straw bag, and I haven't finished stitching it yet, and it's supposed to look wonky. Okay, I understand it looks wonky. But I wanted to see about making a straw holder for reusable straws. And I found out about the silicone straws last year. I actually wound up in the hospital, and thank goodness I'm fine, everyone's fine. But during my recovery, this Bubba cup was invaluable to me, and it came with a bendy straw. So when I'm on the hospital bed, I was able to drink without moving, and so that's what turned me on to silicone straws. Well, if you take them with you to use in restaurants or wherever you're going, the silicone can get kind of icky-ucky. So I wanted to make like a little bag to transport it, and it's not food safe, okay? I'm not using food safe, I'm just using quilting fabric. But what I thought was cool, that is, these are the bendy ones, and so when I put them, hopefully once I get it done, into the bag here, I can carry some straws with me, and then because they could like fold down and go in my bag, or be fine. All right. Now I want to show you some of the upcoming stitching stuff that I want to do. I'm really excited. I want to do Bent Creek's little kitty cat. I'm excited to do that one. Right now, the echinacea is blooming all over Maryland. It is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. So this is a coneflower pattern. Oh, I cannot wait. It's the Coneflower Duet. I cannot wait to stitch this up. This is another one. This is a La Ti Da. It's a quick little stitch. It looks like it's going to come out to like 4x6. It's the Old Crow. I just think it's darling. And then this is another Old Crow type design by Country Spirits Collection, Simply Autumn. I just think it's really darling. I think they stitched this in a 10 count to make the pillow, but I'm probably going to do something a little smaller. And then this is Teresa from Shakespeare's Peddler, Two Angry Birds. Put a bird on it, Gulf Coast Stitcher. Look at those cute birds. I love it. I love it so much. I've already talked to Teresa and told her how much I love this pattern, and I cannot wait to stitch it. It's a big commitment for me right now. I'm stitching a lot of my model stuff for patterns that are coming out soon that I can't show you yet. But I'm looking forward to starting these, as they would say on Netflix, they're in my queue to stitch. All right. I also want to share some of the products that I've developed over the last year, and feel free to tune me out if you don't want to see. But moving forward, these are some of the products that I have developed and are for sale. They are available on Amazon and on eBay, on UK, Amazon Europe, and of course Amazon in the United States. I was drafting a lot of my patterns where I couldn't sit at my computer and work on the drafting software, and I realized that I really needed a good graph paper. And I realized that I could just make one and design one and publish one. So that's what I did. So the first book that I created was the Sketch and Stitch graph paper for creating cross stitch and embroidery patterns book. And the colors are modeled. I'm a huge mid-century modern fan. Absolutely love mid-century modern. The color palette is designed after a 1950s sci-fi book jacket that I really liked. So here's my first ever graph paper book to model and do cross stitch. I was so inspired by the Bewitched Stitches group that I made a Halloween sketch and stitch graph paper book for the Halloween Stitchers. You know, Halloween kind of fun, morbid, anyway. Graph paper. This book, these are both 100 pages, and I have it gridded out 60 by 90. So you can work, and if you open it up, it's double-sided. You could theoretically design across 2 pages at a time. All right. I also did this spring with my illustrations. I did a springtime kind of Halloween-y. And these are only 40 by 60, and I understand that that's pretty small. Maybe just some basic small motifs, you're on the go. You have an idea, maybe you want to do like a little tiny montage of a larger border, or you want to do some lettering for your name, custom name, or for commission work. This is kind of fun. I did leave space when I designed it if you need to make any notes. The margin, there's not enough really for margin notes, but on the bottom here there is. I've been so inspired by Flosstube, let me tell you. It has just really changed my life over the last year, and I would like to thank all of you who produce videos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I developed this book. Again, my mid-century colors. I developed this because I love listening to the videos and what people are stitching, what products they're using, what fabrics. Oh my gosh, fabrics. And so this, I developed this kind of twofold. You can either use it as like a bullet journal, as graph paper if you want to be sketching, but also just to take notes. So it's just a basic graph paper. It's nothing fancy. I understand everyone takes notes differently. I love stationery. Oh my gosh, I love stationery. When I was younger, You Got Mail came out with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks about the internet, you know, going back and forth. And Meg Ryan, she says that all she ever wants is a bouquet of freshly sharpened pencils. And I went, oh my goodness, get out of town. Yes. Pencil, stationery, erasers, you name it. It's stationery, it's paper. I love it. So I wanted to make my own stationery so that when I'm watching Flosstube, I can take notes. All right, and then kind of another travel size one that I did was my Sketch and Stitch 40 by 60 page graph paper. Again, it's got some areas for notes. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. Oh, I almost forgot. I want to share some of the library books. I want to do a shout out to librarians that curate and reference and help people libraries are a tremendous resource. I feel privileged to be in a very amazing library system, and I'm about an hour from the Smithsonian. Fort Meade, Maryland, an hour away, they have like over 3 million books in holding for the National Archives. The National Archives has a plethora of, I mean, it's amazing how many books the National Archives Library of Congress has, and it's an hour away. So these are some of the books that I have recently checked out. You can look into your local branch. You can also look into interlibrary loan through your branch. You can also look at your universities or community colleges if they grant online access if you're not a student or a faculty member or adjunct professor, to see about accessing a lot of these books. International, if you're international, I'm sorry, I don't know the logistics of your particular country. When I lived in London, it took me forever to get a library card, and I never got one. I lived 100 steps from the British Museum and got to go to the British Museum every day, but the library, I did not have library privileges, but that's a whole nother story. Okay, so this is a modern cross-stitch book that I checked out that I adore. It's darling, and Priscilla and Chelsea have inspired me to do this little farm scene. I think it's just precious. All right, and then this is a book from 1938 that I checked out from the library on American needlework. Oh my goodness. They literally gave it to me with the rubber band and the binding is coming off. I have to return that soon. And then this book, I found this one really interesting. It's not just about cross stitch. They also talk about quilting and other needle arts. But I wanted to share with you, Teresa has done KittenStitcher has done a tremendous job of talking about historic samplers and the impact of the American sampler on United States history. Mary's statement explained that she has no record of her age except that it is contained in a piece of needlework in her possession made by herself as many as 53 years ago, which needlework is in the words and figures to which, and I say, oh, that I had wings like a dove for when I could fly away and be at rest. Mary Hearn, born December 12, 1782, marked the sampler in the year 1793, which would make her 64 years old December next. She made said record in needlework, the recollection she had of her age from her earliest childhood, as her age was told by her mother. Basically, samplers were not just little girl needle art or little boy needle art. American samplers helped to substantiate people's ages and help them to qualify for veteran benefits. This is huge. There's a table in here that shows the sampler submitted to the pension office. There's 6 different samplers at the National Archives and Records Administrations that helped families receive pensions for their family members' service in the American military. So I just wanted to show that. And what's really fun about this is that this is the needlework of aged women. They classify aged women as being 40 years of age or older. Thank you all for joining me. It was a pleasure being here. I'm really honored to have you here and honored that you would spend your time with me. So thank you, stitching friends, and I look forward to speaking with you all again.